It's Peter CPRail 8748 with a much long overdue update on the layout. That's right, it's been about good 6 to 7 months since I posted any type of updates to the layout. Haven't been really working on it, as you know, from my past videos, but I've been slowly chipping away at it from mid-December, putting in a few hours a week on it. So when I will get back to you guys, I will show you what I've been working on. So guys, the first major thing I worked on since mid-December was actually coloring in my rock work on the scenic side of the railroad, perfecting it so I can start coloring the other side and film the tutorial how I did it. I used 50% water, 50% alcohol, rubbing alcohol mix that you can get in any drugstore, which I mixed with acrylic paints to make washes. This resulted in a multi-layer of washes. Since you're using alcohol, it evaporates really quickly, so when it's wet the colors are darker, lightening up when they dry, so I had to do a few coats and highlights here and there. So the primary colors that I used for this were a black wash, which turned into a gray. Used some lighter gray and darker gray for highlights. I also used browns and yellows to do some strata and different colorations in the rock. And I finished it off with pastel chalk powders to give it a nice weathered look. As you can see here, I did some rust effects in the rock. Only thing I have left to do is spray everything down with Krylon artistic matte finish to kind of lock everything in, so when I add other scenery around it, it doesn't further dilute the rock work. I will post a how-to video once I start doing the other side. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy, I'm just showing you all the finished rock work so you can see it in all its glory. This took me about 5 to 6 hours overall of doing it over a few days, because once you did one wash, you had to wait about a good 5 to 6 hours, or better yet overnight, to have it dry, and then you apply the other wash. And then I also added some actual direct paints to it as well, which I diluted with the rubbing alcohol on the actual rock work. And I will show you how that was done in the tutorial. One thing you may notice is that I didn't use an overall black wash afterwards to have all the nooks and crannies come out in the rock work like a lot of the woodland scenic pigment tutorial videos show you. I found those rock work to be a little bit too cartoonish like, and when I've seen a lot of the great rock work from some amazing looking layouts and by some great modelers like Lex Parker and others, they actually don't use any black or dark washes to bring out the crevices. They leave it colored and natural, so your actual layout lighting will do all the shadowing and highlight effects for you without actually doing it. So in my point of view, I think the rocks came out fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you think, how they turned out. The other thing that I was working on this side was, as I mentioned in one of my last videos, was focusing on ballasting. So I finished almost ballasting this entire side of the layout. As you can see, the unit track now looks like better track, more realistic since it's all ballasted. I still have to do this section over here because I was doing it in pieces. And then on this side again, guys, sorry for the shaky camera, I have to do ballast on this curve all the way to the turnout. And I have to ballast up to this point as well, I believe up to the turnout or just past the turnout. Then what I'm going to plan on doing for my entire yard area is mimic a gravel yard, basically in field. The entire yard is not paved, it's just gravel. So what I'm using for that is, rather than using a bunch of ballast, which is too large, even the fine woodland scenic and scale ballast is just way too large and unrealistic. So what I'm using is a similar gray color to my rock work, sanded grout. So I'm going to be putting down sanded grout, and I'm actually going to be using the sanded grout to ballast the yard track work. Another thing that I finished, guys, was the field depot. The full mock-up is done. It is to scale, both the back and the front of it. I've realized that if I leave it to scale, it's going to be a little bit too close to the track, and the actual locomotives tend to hit the top overhang. So what I'm actually planning on doing is probably recess the building back a little bit and finish my fascia board to cover the back building and make it like a front relief, almost like a backdrop building. So I'm still thinking about that, but this is pretty much how it's going to look like when it's actually made out of styrene, and more detailed to the prototype. I have been working on a 2-bay rip track maintenance facility for field. It's not prototypical because it doesn't exist in field today, but I'm realizing that it might be a little bit too big for the area. So I need your help, guys, and opinions. So I'm thinking of a couple of things. If you have other ideas, please chime in as well. What I'm thinking of actually is either getting rid of the sheds altogether and maybe making a one-stall sheds, or removing it completely and making this entire track where the 2 locos are standing right now, and then the 3 spurs, into all a rip yard slash MAU equipment and loco kind of parking area. And in this area here beside the water tower, I was maybe thinking of placing road salt silo, and then a couple of gravel and sand and rock storage concrete bins. So that's what I was kind of thinking, and just maybe making another little yard office building here somewhere. Again, as for my intro video, you guys, if you look back and look at the intro video, if you remember, the iconic field water tower is going to be here, and I'm still making the CP rail crew change, pretty much field house here on this bluff. So that's not changing. It's going to be a backdrop building along with the water tower. I'm just kind of having second thoughts about the maintenance facility and what I'm going to be putting here. So let me know, guys, if what I'm planning on doing here is a good idea, or if you have any other thoughts or ideas what I can do with these 2 sections will be great. So that's pretty much what I've been working on. So again, I'm just going to be continuing on finishing all my ballasting work and then painting this side of the layout rock work, so I can show you a tutorial on that, which is going to be coming up as well. Once that is all done, I'm going to be re-cleaning my track so I can start running trains again. Because I haven't run trains in such a long time, I'm still getting a lot of conductivity issues and stalling. So once everything's ballasted, so I'm not going to have to do a furrow clean again on the track. Once that's all done, I can do a nice clean and start running some trains. So I will see you guys in a future video. Thank you for watching, subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and I will see you again on a later video. Bye.